Tonight we're going to be taking a look at LPA. It's a design firm that specializes in green buildings. One of the buildings that they're responsible for is the Environmental Nature Center in Newport Beach. Now, it received recognition as the top green building in Orange County. We're going to find out why right now.
ENC is basically an environmental nature center that's been in existence for 31 years. Actually started out as sort of a byproduct of Newport Harbor High School. It's just some land that they used to throw dirt on when they were constructing the pool and all of that for the high school. Eventually one of the professors there actually came here and started teaching a class out here and just started planting plants and teaching about indigenous landscape throughout the state of California, and it grew into this amazing place. LEED certification, Leadership in Environmental and Energy Design. LEED Platinum is basically the highest level of LEED certification that a building can achieve. This is the first LEED Platinum building in Orange County, and I believe it's the 11th or 12th in the state of California. Some of the really great materials that we're able to use in the building that really start to talk about the sustainable design strategies. I think number one was probably the recycled denim that we actually use for insulation within the walls. All of the products that you see as far as your millwork and workstations, we use some really great products such as pressed wheat board. All of the hard surfaces are recyclable products. The flooring, the carpet, all of that is very, very high recycled content. The building is actually shaped to take advantage of the natural breezes from the ocean. So you could be in the building at any time of the year, and the breezes are actually encouraged to flow through the buildings. That's where you got the shape. That's why we developed the two separate structures to actually increase the perimeter of the buildings to get more sunlight and more airflow through the facility. So there actually is no heating or air conditioning system employed. Working with the ENC was really a wonderful experience because they were very hands-on with us. They really were a great partner in design. Everything you see here was the result of extensive meetings, extensive collaboration. They actually worked with our landscape architects who were in-house to really develop the landscape palette and to really bring it to life and create a continuation with what was already here. I think the building is really a building that belongs to not only the ENC but the community as well. We really feel very strongly that this building is something that will help to benefit the community, help to educate the community, and we're very excited about it.
And our first guest during this segment is Jim Wyrick. He is the project principal in this particular building design. He's with LPA. Welcome to the program. We heard that this is a platinum LEED building, but what exactly does that mean?
Well, the United States Green Building Council came up with a scenario that is recognized nationally and internationally on really taking the temperature on how green a building is or how green a building could be. And so within LEED, Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, there are 4 categories, platinum being the highest. So if you think of green buildings as being the most environmentally friendly of all buildings, then platinum is the creme de la creme.
What are some of the things that are required for a building to be a platinum LEED building?
Well, really, for the level of platinum, it requires on-site energy generation. And that can come in the form of wind, it can come in the form of fuel cell, it can come in the form of solar. And in this case, we were able to incorporate photovoltaic panels or solar panels into the design.
So when you went in and started designing this, did you design it specifically to be a LEED Platinum building?
No, that really came as a byproduct of the conversation with the Environmental Nature Center. And we came to them saying, we'll take it as green as far as you want.
Yeah.
And they really stepped up. They said, look, we're in the business of promoting the precious natural environment. And so they said, you know what, let's go and explore what it would take to hit the level of platinum. And kudos to the client. It requires a great client to do great buildings, and they really stepped up, and we encouraged them, and we're able to work with them.
What kind of cost? I mean, for somebody out there who's planning on hiring, what extra cost went into doing a building?
Again, there are so many different variables for the LEED system. One point is not necessarily worth another point, but to get to the level of platinum, it can cost 5, 10, 15% more than a non-sustainable building. The overall cost of the project was $4.2 million, not a little bit of change. $300,000 of that was for the PV panels, the solar panels, which is a great investment. You're essentially purchasing your electric bills in advance.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, what would be the incentive of a company then to want to come up and do a LEED Platinum building, other than the fact that it looks good on paper for an environmental nature center to be a LEED Platinum building?
I think a lot of folks have wanted to change the world for a generation, and this is one way that those people have grown up in society and say, look, let's make a statement. Toyota, Ford Motor Company, we've done LEED buildings for them, and it's part of their public relations program.
Mm-hmm. What is net zero building? What is that?
Net zero is a term that uses when the building essentially produces as much electricity or as much power as it requires. Mm-hmm. And so for the ENC, over the course of a year with the photovoltaic panels, it will generate as much power as the building uses over the year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now, one of the things we talked about at the beginning of the program, and it's not just the building of the building, but it's how it's operated down the line. You mentioned the fact that it's generating power. What other things are going into maintaining a LEED building and keeping it, as a green building?
Well, in this instance, you have a good amount of, there's a gift from the Pacific Ocean, breezes that flow constantly, or most of the time across the site. And so it's really, it's almost like the client has a new instrument, and he and she are tuning this instrument. During the different seasons of the year, those windows will be open more and less to allow the building to experience the greatest benefit from that gift. And so you're essentially learning how to work with this. And so it becomes more interactive between the building occupants and the building itself.
Yeah, so it becomes more of a relationship with the building indeed.
Yes.
Well, thanks so much for telling us about this amazing building. And we're going to be hearing about some of the other green buildings here in Orange County right after this.